Have you checked the children? Show a little match sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Bienvenidos, Freight fans. I'm Jaime Fuego.
I'm Cecil Laird.
And we are back for another installment on the horror show of our shark coverage this week for Jaws 3. Also released as Jaws 3D.
3D,
but
yep.
Yeah, I think some of that stuff doesn't hold up as well, regregrettably. But
We didn't watch it in 3D, so we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Should we redo it?
No. I was just saying, we never were too young. We didn't see it in 3D, so maybe it's better than we thought. But all we have to go on is the way we have it presented to us right now.
Yes, exactly. And so 3D was a thing that was transpiring in the early 80s. I mean, Friday the 13th, Amityville. There were a lot of properties that were trying to do this and just make it interesting. And there's pieces of bodies floating towards the screen and stuff like that. But the real crux of this and the interesting aspect is that they had a cool as hell concept in imagine if a great white came into SeaWorld, Florida and was chewing on people. What the hell could happen? And they really squandered this opportunity as far as being...
I liked it, but I don't like it as much as a lot of the other parts of the franchise.
It's not terrible, but it definitely had just potential that I feel was lost, regrettably. Good casting, too. I mean, Dennis Quaid, Leah Thompson. This was one that really could have been so much better than it actually was. Lou Gossett Jr., god damn, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, so, but this is, as far as overall thoughts, which I know we often like to, start these proceedings off with. Overall thoughts, this was, dare I say, the weakest of the Jaws movies for me. Do you disagree?
No, I don't. I think this is definitely the weakest of the Jaws movies, and people that hear that, knowing what Jaws the Revenge is like, might be up in arms. However, I just find way more enjoyment in Jaws the Revenge than I do in Jaws 3. I like the concept of Jaws 3, but I do think that it was a bit squandered, and it was really because the effects were just cheaped out on in a lot of instances, especially the 3D instances. So the story of it, though, I mean, that's my overall thoughts. The story of it is just that. There's a great white shark that infests SeaWorld, Florida, which is now where Mike Brody is working.
Yep.
He's moved down from Martha's Vineyard all the way down to Florida SeaWorld.
Yep, and you have little brother Sean who is coming to visit.
Yeah, little cowboy
so
brother Sean
Yeah,
somehow.
Exactly. And he tries to romance the beautiful Leah Thompson. Boy, was she a babe back in the 80s. Anyway.
Still is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But so Mike and his girlfriend, the marine biologist that's also working at SeaWorld, that's the dolphin trainer, they have to try and stop and warn the park before mass casualties occur that there's a live great white shark. And then not only that, but it turns out there might be more than one in the movie. And the movie, again, the setup is fun, but it's just executed quite poorly throughout. I do still think that parts of it work well. I think the undersea tunnel portion where the shark is ramming it and starting to flood it, I think that's still effective.
Yeah, and also the tension with those water skiers and the shark
being chased by a shark
right under them, so to speak.
I still think that the Aussie hunter that gets eaten and is chomped on, I still think that's freaky. So
then we've got stupid stuff with the robbers initially who get eaten by the baby shark, presumably, because it essentially boils into baby shark, and then mama shark shows up, and mama shark shows up, and that's really what it all turns into, is that there was a smaller shark that they captured.
The baby was born inside the park. The mother is inside the park.
I can't remember if that was Lou Gossett Jr.
No, that was the woman. That was the blonde.
Okay, the one, the blondie. Yeah, Carol, I think her name was, or whatever. Anyway, and we have Dennis Quaid in this movie. I mean, Louis Gossett Jr.
Dennis Quaid playing Mike.
Yeah.
Mike Brody.
Yeah,
early Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, exactly. Recast for Revenge, and this is a movie that, once again, the burden of potential and the fact that it could have been badass, and yet the fact that it was just kind of hammy and stupid. And there was a lot of stuff that came out in 1983. My birth year, by the way, that ages me. Everybody, you're still an 80s guy.
No, I'm
I love
86
you,
or something. Yeah.
I love you, man. But nonetheless, I mean, it just shows this feels very much of that earlier era of the 80s before the self-awareness became a, like major thread line, and gore was
sidelined. Because this was
seemingly,
very family.
Seemingly, yes.
This was almost made for TV.
Very much so. It's
in
not,
a sense.
dude. It's not a very violent movie, which
You
is one
do
of my
see a
biggest
floating
disappointments.
head, and it's actually a little girl that sees the floating
and
head.
there's like a hand or a foot at one particular point early on. But really, that's the 3D, and also the shark explosion at the end, where you see like chunks of guts
the
like
shark
floating
that
at
is
the
just
screen
gliding
and-
at the glass with no propulsion at all, and shatters the glass.
Yeah, this is a movie that doesn't really feel like it has like heavy stakes in comparison.
It's the effects. The effects
in
are just the
comparison
worst.
with 2 and 4. I
It's
mean,
the stakes are pretty heavy. I mean, there's killer great white shark in SeaWorld.
I know, but as far as the way they
that's a pretty
orchestrate
good.
it,
Yeah,
as
no,
far as the way they
the way it's
orchestrate it,
executed, it's not.
like they don't make you feel the tension
No,
properly.
I agree with that.
And that's my biggest problem with this movie, because even though Revenge has a preposterous premise in every possible capacity, it still feels like it has more urgency than this movie does.
What's
it
interesting
really does.
is that there's a moment
This time it's personal, blah. We'll get to that at some point.
where in the movie the SeaWorld captures a great white shark and tries to put it on display, and
It's
it
the
dies
baby,
in
and it
captivity.
dies, yeah.
Well, it's a baby, but it dies in captivity, and that's the thing. Great white sharks cannot be kept in captivity. There's still, to my knowledge, not a single aquarium that has been able to successfully keep a great white shark in captivity.
Yeah, that species specifically, man, just
Yeah.
is not...
It's crazy. It's crazy. But the movie itself is silly. There are some fun characters. There's mostly silly characters, but Dennis Quaid acquits himself quite well. I think his blonde girlfriend does a great job.
Yeah, Carol is solid. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Lou Gossett Jr. does a great job.
Even though he's in like he's almost like the mayor of the previous 2 films,
Kind
where
of.
he's like denying the aspect of the
still
threat.
fun to watch.
And dude, I mean, all of those pilot movies that he did, man. I'm trying to remember. Was it something Wings?
Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was way off. Sorry, guys. No, Lou Goss was damn good in this, even though he's not utilized as much as I would have liked.
I saw him in person actually one time at a Suns game
Yeah.
at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the biggest thing that we need to talk about. Now, while I
think
will
that's fair
say
enough.
the music,
Alan Parker, who worked on, he did lead guitar on Hurdy-Gurdy Man for Donovan. I mean, he is a prolific British guy. He did the score. But
I like the scores
I
in
think
both
the
this
score-
and Revenge, personally.
Yeah, I think the scores in all the sequels, they didn't muck around when it came to that. They still wanted to have that epic flavor, the orchestral just kind of urgency, so to speak, and Alan Parker brought it, dude. I mean, that's one thing that I will definitely say. And watching this movie, I'd actually never watched it on HD, and I streamed it on HBO Max, so I saw Jaws 3D for the first time in high definition, and there was graininess at times, but for the most part, it looked like a bigger budget movie, probably what it actually was than what I had seen on VHS before. So,
Yeah.
I mean, credits to that. I actually enjoy all 4 of these movies, even if they're not.
They're
all
still
great.
better
They're
than
not
a
all great.
lot of the straight to, VOD movies.
Truly,
that we
dude.
get in the shark variety now.
Yeah, man, and the fact that they kept and they keep everything, even in the 4th film you guys are about to watch
Practical.
the review for, hopefully. I mean, practical, and also the fact that they kept it about the family.
Yeah.
And just the Brody family and everything that they've endured over the course of all of this. I mean, coincidental, well, whatever, argue as much as you want, but it's still frightening, and it has its moments where it's really effective. So if you're scared of sharks, man, I mean, Cecil and I both love them, but I'm scared of them at
It's
the
still
same
worth
point
watching.
that I'm fascinated
it's
by
the
them.
only shark movie where a shark invades SeaWorld or a
Yeah.
theme park. So, it's a shark movie.
Yeah.
Piranha technically did it in the second
Piranha
remake,
3
double D.
where they were
Yeah.
in the
Bleh.
yeah.
Anyway.
there was lots of boobs in that movie.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
not this
Right.
one, though. So why don't you guys let us know what your thoughts are on Jaws 3D in the comments down below. We will be back tomorrow with our review of Jaws the Revenge, which might be controversial. We shall
Yeah.
see. So thank you guys
I
very
like
much
that
for
movie.
watching. Thank you to our patrons for supporting the channel.
Hell,
And
yizzle.
if you like this video, click the like button and subscribe. Until next time, though, I've been Cecil Laird.
And I've been Jaime Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.
Dun, 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 dun.